Okay, we're finishing up here the introduction to the sefer Shai Kedusha of Rav Chaim Vital. Now he's just describing here how he divided the sefer in different chapters. I have four sections of the sefer. The first section discusses the way of Hasidus, the way of doing certain actions, positive actions for Hashem, things that are obviously associated and appropriate with general Jewish life and Ruach HaKodesh. V'aprishus, and staying away from bad things. Chassidus is about the positive things, and Prishus is about the negative things. Hamavia Lidei Ruach HaKodesh, extra things that we do or stay away from that will help us through Ruach HaKodesh, and things that we should stay away from that could, if we do them, Chas v'Shalom, things that could hurt us from getting to Ruach HaKodesh. Now that first chapter is going to be divided into 6 more chapters. The second part is going to be divided, we're going to speak about the punishments and rewards of different mitzvahs. And that's divided in 7 different chapters. The third part, Ruach HaKodesh, is going to talk about how to actually get Ruach HaKodesh itself. It's going to have 8 chapters. In the fourth part of the sefer, is going to talk about the way that we do the Yichudim themselves. That through those Yichudim, we actually get to Ruach HaKodesh. That I myself have tested these methods and they actually work. So now we're going to speak in Ve'echtov Pirtam Der Cheshbon Simanim. Now we're going to speak about the chapters instead of just the sections. So the 4 sections are, the first section is Chasidus, and good and bad things that we generally have to do for Ruach HaKodesh, in order to get to Ruach HaKodesh, things we should stay away from, things we should do. The second chapter is going to be a discussion of Schar Mitzvah and ownership of Averas, things that we have to obviously stay away from Averas and come close to mitzvahs. That'll help us in understanding how we actually attach ourselves to Kedusha. And the third chapter is about getting Ruach HaKodesh, and the fourth chapter is about the actual details of Yichudim and things that we could do in order to get Ruach HaKodesh. So the third and the fourth are very different. The fourth one is actual practice, very detailed practice, and the third one is more general. But we're going to need both of them, obviously. The fourth one is not printed. The end of the fourth chapter is not actually printed in most of the Sefarim, but we will be going through it in we have a copy of it, and we'll be using it for this year. Now we're going to go into the details of each chapter, just to have an overview of what is going to be happening in the sefer. The first chapter has 6 chapters, like we said. Harishon, the first chapter in the first chelik, the first section, is to understand the depth of how bad it really is when a person does a Naveira, how much it affects the neshama. Then the second chapter is going to talk about midas megunos. If a person has bad midas, how that affects his neshama. The third chapter in the 6 chapters, Bir Sham Tzadik, Shem Tzadik v'Chasid. What does it mean to be a Tzadik, and what does it mean to be a Chasid? These things are very important to understand before attempting to approach the topic of Ruach HaKodesh. Understanding Ruach HaKodesh, you have to understand the madrigas of tzaddik and a chassid. We have to understand the pagam of the nefesh, the damage that happens to the nefesh, the neshama, when a person does averos, and what the mitzvahs do. These are very, very important things to understanding. Ruach HaKodesh is not something that is you just jump in, you don't have to know anything, you just do the Yechudim said, you say in the last chapter, and then bam, you're you're starting to prophesize. It's very, very dangerous if a person does not understand at all what he's doing, and it's something to even stay away from. So it's important to learn the sefer, to have a clarity in the ideas of the sefer from beginning to end, and not just to jump to the later chapters. Okay, the fourth chapter in this section is Bir Madrigas Tzaddik B'Protus, understanding in detail what it means to be a tzaddik, and Chamishi, the fifth chapter, is understanding what it means to be a chassid. The sixth chapter is understand the way a chassid is supposed to conduct himself. In short, the close Kol Hashem and B'Chilkas, and that's the basically the first section. Discusses the levels of tzaddikim, the mitzvahs, and the averos. Okay, in the second chapter is divided into 8 parts. The first one is talking about tochachos, the musar, Razal, the musar that the Chazal give us. The third one is talking about the schar of being mekayim the Torah mitzvahs. The fourth one is talking about the punishment of midas ros, of having bad midas. The fifth one is talking about the punishment of midas that are aser, and the sixth one is talking about the punishment of mitzvahs los aseh. The seventh is talking about punishment of mitzvahs aseh. The eighth is talking about tshuva. The third chelik, is talking about hanhagas of hasagas Ruach HaKodesh, things to do to get Ruach HaKodesh, and that's divided into 8 chapters. The first one is the understanding the upper worlds. The second chapter is the understanding the essence of a human, of man. The third one is understanding the things that stop a person from getting nevuah. And the fourth one is to understanding the necessities, the conditions that a person needs in order to get nevuah. The fifth one is talking about the quality, the aspect of nevuah itself, and the understanding nevuah itself as its essence. And the sixth one is talking about the different levels of nevuah. The seventh chapter of the third chelik is talking about the levels of madriga, the different levels of Ruach HaKodesh in our generation. And the eighth one is talking about hanhaga ktsara, a short version, the way of acting. And the fourth chapter, the whole fourth section, is things that have to do with the names of Hashem and things that we're going to hopefully speak about at the end.